Good morning, Viorel. I'm very happy to have you here. And could you please introduce yourself a little bit?
My name is Viorel Mihai. I come from Romania. I have graduated physical therapy school, 5 years of medical studies. And I had my first encounter with Shiatsu in the summer of 2000. I was a medical student in the United States. I was in a work and travel contract, and I had 2 more months to spend in the United States. I had nothing, no plans for these 2 remaining 2 months. And a series of events had me wandering on the streets of a small Midwestern city, Iowa City, and then I stumbled across a booth that was offering a secret Shiatsu demonstration. I was very intrigued, I was very curious, I waited in line.
You mean demonstration on the street?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They were self-promoting the Shiatsu school. I didn't know, I haven't heard of Shiatsu before that event. I waited in line, I had my Shiatsu demonstration performed by one of the students, and I was intrigued. I waited for the event to be over, and then I approached the principal and I said, well, I am from Romania, I'm a student in physical therapy. I never heard of Shiatsu before. I think that what you're doing is very interesting. I would like to study Shiatsu. I just have 2 small problems. I don't have any money and I don't have where to live. So he said, sure, no problem. You can move in my school. So this is exactly what happened. The next day I moved in his house, in his school, and I spent the next 2 months in his school. I had my first contact with Shiatsu. At the time, I didn't think that Shiatsu would become such a long presence in my life. I thought it would be something that will become like a hobby for myself. But when I got home and I started to tell stories to my friends and my colleagues about Shiatsu, and I gave demonstration, people were very excited, very enthusiastic about Shiatsu. So in a few months, I had organized international seminar in Bucharest, taught by my mentor from the United States, which was a huge success at the time. Anyway, this is how I got involved in spreading Shiatsu like 20 years ago. Then I went back to the States and had a 6 months training, and then come back to Romania and started teaching and practicing Shiatsu. But this will take us like too long if you go into.
No, but it's very interesting. So you this is what you call maybe synchronicity, you know. So you just end up here on the street, and there's demonstration. You stand in line, and you have nowhere to live. You have no money, and then you find yourself in somebody's house the next day doing Shiatsu. So I think it's pretty interesting to hear such a story, right?
Yes, it's very atypical. Some people went east to discover Shiatsu. I went west. And I didn't have Shiatsu on my list. So in a way, it was Shiatsu that found me. I didn't find Shiatsu. So.
Okay. And you've been practicing and teaching Shiatsu ever since, right?
Yes. I have there's a pattern occurring here in my involvement in teaching, because I teach very intensively for years, mm-hmm. and I have to take some breaks. Mm-hmm. I have to, just like Japanese, go in seclusion and openness. I do the same. I get very actively involved, and then I have to set back and to let it sink in and to find new glimpses, new insights. So I return with fresher forces and bigger or wider perspective on the phenomenon.
Okay, perfect. Sounds very good. And when we talked for the first time about this Eastern European picnic, you seem to be quite enthusiastic, just like we are in Hungary, the organizers. What draws you to this picnic? Why do you think it's important? It's a good idea to get together from all over Eastern Europe and spend 3 days together. So what did you find interesting about it?
In this seminar, I will be the title of my presentation will be how does finger pressure work? And I will try to answer this question from a historical perspective, because I will, as you may know, my biggest passion about Shiatsu is studying the history of Shiatsu.
Okay.
I have done this more extensively and more thoroughly in the past 5 years, and last year I have crystallized a few insights into the history of Shiatsu. Initially, my focus was on historically chapters like pre-war, post-war, and contemporary Shiatsu or medieval, whatever. But now I have come with a new idea. Instead of focusing on historical delineated chapters, I had to emphasize the processes of change in the history of Shiatsu.
Okay.
What I mean by that is that we can consider the history of Shiatsu to be just the most recent chapter in the longer history of finger pressure. And basically, Shiatsu is a reinterpretation or reinvention or the reimagination of finger pressure therapies. So what we will do here, we'll take a look at how finger pressure will be associated with different explanatory models. For example, Tamait and Peki, the originator of Shiatsu, started our phenomenon without mentioning any key meridians, nothing related to traditional Chinese medicine. There was no reference in traditional medicine in the initial chapter. And then we have Namikoshi coming in post-war. Again, there is no meridian, there is no key. Everything was a neuromuscular approach to finger pressure. So the Oriental medicine makes a comeback to what we now consider to be Shiatsu only in the 1970s. But his impact was so powerful that he basically almost erased the previous chapters. People tend to forget that Shiatsu initially was not associated with Oriental medicine, was not associated with Oriental diagnosis, but was rather trying to seek to gain legitimacy by associating with modern medicine. Okay. So we'll try to answer questions like, for example, what is a tsubo? What is a blockage? And we'll try to look from different perspectives. What is a tsubo in Oriental medicine? What is a tsubo in or minizon in Western medicine? How can we look at this together? How do we play with touch? How do we interpret human touch or Shiatsu finger pressure through both lenses?
So what you're trying to imply here, I think I very much like the idea that, okay, so we'll get together from all over Eastern Europe, and you're going to be from Romania, and there are going to be some more facilitators from other countries, and we'll have a chance, we'll have the opportunity to get to know different perspectives, different styles. I like to call it hidden gems in Eastern Europe regarding Shiatsu. And I very much like the idea that we have to deep dive into the history of Shiatsu to understand where it comes from. And you will focus on what is finger pressure, as far as I understand, in your workshop, from different perspectives. What is tsubo in Oriental medicine? What is tsubo in non-Oriental approach? I think it's absolutely fascinating and fantastic to go back to the roots. Shiatsu is a derivation of a finger pressure therapy. So let's not forget about that. Let's get back to this and let's deep dive into this round, right?
Right.
Perfect. Excellent. So your passion is the history of Shiatsu and learning and studying further about finger pressure, right? So this is what you're gonna show us or introduce to us.
Last year there was the new movie which called the Holdovers. I don't know if you saw it.
No, but I will now. If you suggest I should.
And in it was a teacher who spent some time with a student that couldn't live in vacation, and this teacher takes the student to a museum, and he's talking about history, and he says, history is not only the study of the past; it's an explanation for the present. Mm-hmm. So wow. If you want to understand the current state of the Shiatsu, which is a very high variation of styles, and everybody is trying to find a definition for Shiatsu, but this definition covers mostly their approach and doesn't include other approaches to finger pressure. So I'm trying to bring a historical perspective that will help us understand better our present in the in the community, because if we understand our present, we can better configure the future of our profession.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Viorel. So, folks, I hope you are inspired to participate in the Shiatsu, Eastern European Shiatsu picnic that will take place at Lake Balaton in a beautiful setting in Hungary on the 12th, 13th, 14th of August this year. So you are more than welcome to join us, and Viorel will be one of the facilitators who will show us his passion about the history of Shiatsu as an explanation to the present, and we will tackle the roots of Shiatsu as a derivation of finger pressure therapy. So he will focus on history as an explanation for the present, and what really is finger pressure, which is so important for all of us, whether we are beginners or more advanced practitioners, to get back to the roots and focus on this. So thank you very much, Viorel. Look forward to meeting you in person, because we haven't met in person yet. So we will have a chance in August. So thank you very much, and have a nice day.